he has one thing, y'all, I say it over and over, your resume is the first impression of you. All right, it's your first and it's your last impression. Okay. You want to talk about the tools that you use. There is no job out there that's hiring just because of you. Right? Sorry, it just doesn't work like that. They're looking for something. You need to talk about what they're looking for. If you've used it or if you've used something similar, it needs to be it needs to be written out. Right? In class, that's what we're talking about all the time. How to structure, how do you effectively articulate it? There is a right way, there is a wrong way. There is a right way, there is a wrong way. You do not have to have paragraphs of information on there to show a company why you are the right person for that job, why they should call you. You don't have to do that. Glory doesn't have that on her resume. Glory only has one experience of security. And sorry, I'm using you, Glory. You're just a great example, right? I actually created the second version of the resume after your resume that you sent to me. You didn't know that, but I did because I liked it. She only has one block of experience on there. She's had 2 interviews already. I don't know if she's had more, but she's had 2 interviews already. Right? You don't need all that crap on there. You don't want to make things more difficult for recruiters than it already is for them. They have a lot of work on their plate. All right, there is a way to structure and highlight your skills effectively. Okay, when you all send me your resume and I'm beating them up, I'm doing it for a reason, right? Because I know what they're looking for and I know how to. At least I've learned how to highlight certain skills. We're always getting better at it. There are always new tricks, like Shane was mentioning, highlighting certain things. Not every recruiter likes that, right? Like the positions we submitted you out for, they don't really like that. So that's why I had actually to remove it. But that's why you got to know who you're sending things to, right? That's how you make things better. But y'all, get out of the habit of adding extra crap on your resume. Get out of that habit. Everybody thinks they have to juice up their resume. You don't. Your resume just sucks. You got to fix it. Right? If you suck at shooting, you got to fix your shot. Same thing with your resumes. If your resume sucks, you just got to fix it. Right? If you don't know how to fix it, then you get help. And fortunately, you all are getting that help in the class. So I'm going to open that up. I'm going to open it up in my sandbox first. I actually had turned it on yesterday, but something that came up and it just slipped my mind. But I'm going to open it up, run it through my sandbox, make sure it's clean, and then I'll play around with it. But you just by taking a quick glance at it, you have a lot of things on there that people are looking for. A lot. All right. Now, welcome everybody. Cyber Thursday is live. We are live. We are live. Welcome, Sam. Nice to see you on here again. You got any questions for us before we get started, man? I'm going to take silence as a no. I think so. Yay? Nay? Okay, I'm going to take that as a no. So today we are going to let Dami do his thing. He's going to run us through a lab of how to secure the network. This is great experience for him. These are things that our students are doing in class. All right, Dami, I'm going to let you take the show. I'm going to let you do your thing. Rock and roll, man. Rock and roll.
All right, cool. All right, so today we're going to be securing the network infrastructure. Networks is going to be a lot of things that we're doing. We're going to be configuring SSH. We're going to be working with the VPN. We're going to be working with the VPN client. We're going to be adding groups. We're going to be making policies, just a bunch of different things. So first, let's start with configuring the SSH. We're going to be using our Kali virtual machine.
Oh, whoops. I think I accidentally, hold on, whoops. My bad. I accidentally stopped your screen from sharing. You can take it back. It was an accident.
Okay.
My bad.
All right, so we're going to be using our Kali virtual machine. Logging in is root. Password. All right. So what we're going to do is first we're going to see if the SSH port is open. We're going to do that through terminal using Nmap. And as you guys know, Nmap is a port scanner. So we're going to run this command, Nmap 10.1.0.10 port 22 for the SSH port. Here we see that it's open. All right, so now that we know that it's open, we can just go ahead and connect to the SSH. So,
and just so you remember, y'all, Nmap, famous port scanner. All right, it can be used for a lot of different things, but in its basic form, it is well known as a port scanner. All he did was just scan that system for open ports, and you can see port 22 is open.
All right, so now we're just going to log in. We're going to connect to our SSH using CentOS by typing in the SSH CentOS at 10.1.0.10. So this is what we're going to use to log in. Yes. Our password. All right, cool. So we're logged into CentOS. So now we're going to disconnect from it by typing in exit. All right. So basically what we've done so far is just confirm that, these services are up and running. So we're going to switch to LX1 SSH server. And then we're going to sign in to CentOS. The password is password. So now we're just going to increase our security setting for the SSH server. And we're going to do so through terminal. All right, load up. All right, we're going to elevate our credentials to root. And you guys know for Linux, root is basically just the admin. So since we want to elevate our privilege, we need to, be authorized. So we got to put in our password. All right, we're logged in. So now we're going to edit our file. You were going to say something, Toby?
No, you got it.
Yeah, we're going to edit our file using Vim. Vim is actually very interesting. Actually, I wanted to learn, what exactly is Vim, Toby?
It's an editor. So it's just think of it as a notepad on steroids for Linux. You can do a lot of different things on it, actually, right? Vim is pretty powerful. You can actually use Vim to escalate your privileges too.
So
Vim, V, Nano. Well, you can't use Nano to escalate your privileges, but that's a different editor.
So yeah, this is the file we're going to edit using Vim. And so we have a couple things to edit. We're going to make some changes. First, we're going to disable the empty password option, and then we're going to create a banner line. So here, we're going to look for the password. Where is it? Yep, right up here. We're going to remove this ash right here. Yeah, you got to press Vim is weird. You got to press I to make a change.
See, and that's to help us it's to prevent us from making silly mistakes, right? You accidentally type things in there. So, if you don't hit the I key, for insert, if you don't hit it and you just start typing, none of your changes are going to go in there. That's to prevent you from making mistakes.
And then you can press like escape as well to lock it. So that way, you don't, like Toby said, you don't make a mistake. So then we're gonna go down to banner. We're gonna press I again because we're about to make a change. Get rid of that hash. And then we're gonna change this from none to this right here. Escape. And then we are going to save it. VQ. So yeah, now that is saved. So yeah, we're gonna go back and edit this file, which we had just put in the banner.
And another shortcut that you use to save your stuff in Vim, if you just hold the shift key and double tap Z, it'll save and exit for you.
Issue.net. And here we have all this going on, but we can get rid of it. What was it? Press D. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 times.
There you go.
Get rid of that. And then we're gonna type this in for our banner, which is gonna say authorized use only. Oh my God. All right, we're gonna hit escape again. We're gonna save it. All right. So now we're gonna restart it. And I guess the restart is just to like ensure that everything is like saved, correct?
Right, when you so you just made some changes to a configuration file. Right, remember we talked about config files. They help a service or an application function, do what it has to get done in order for it to work sometimes. Now, in order for your changes to take effect, you need to restart the service.
All right, so we're gonna run this command. System ctl restart sht. All right, so now it's restarted. So now we're gonna switch back to Kali and see if we could reconnect to our SSH using the CentOS. So that banner we had just created, authorized use only for SSH, we see that it comes up right here. We put in our password. All right. So we're able to connect. We see the banner right there, and that's question 16. Does a banner message appear? Yes. And so we exit out again.
You know, that banner is it's another form of, it's just a different type of administrative control, right? You're giving a message up there. I mean, you can make it or turn it into whatever you want it to, but you're letting your users know, hey, before you log into this, remember, this is for authorized use only. So if you happen to log in and you do something silly, something you weren't supposed to, you could be held accountable for it because you saw that banner, at least you were supposed to, before you did anything.
All right, so we're gonna switch to our LX1 virtual machine. We don't have to log in because it's still open. So now we're just gonna make sure that our logger is working correctly. And so we're gonna type this in. Test message. We could also leave another message, you know, this is for, if we want, just to see. And so now let's run this command line right here. This is where the messages is gonna be stored. These two messages, like when I run this, y'all can see it. Right here. And the CentOS, we see this error. Test message, that was what we put there for the logger. And this was what I put in as well. This is for the test run. And so now, you were saying something, Toby?
I was saying good job, good job.
All right, so now we're actually gonna use this right here to analyze our SSH logs.
So and that tail, so just for reference here, so he's using a tail command, right? He's using a tail command against the location, against the log file. In Linux, most of your logs are going to be stored under this directory, var or /var/logs. He's looking at if you go back real quick before you run this, just hit Control-C. All right, now type ls and then that file location, var log /var/log. That's it. And then enter. These are most of your log files. These are where they're going to be stored on Linux. There's a bunch of different ones, right? So these logs, some of them you would want to forward them over to Splunk so you can analyze it, or whatever SIM tool you're using. All right. So what he's getting ready to do, you can go ahead and type out your command. What he's getting ready to do is look at the end. That's why he has a tail command. The tail command looks at the end of the log file, right? If you don't hit tail, just go backspace for real quick. Back. No. Remove that pipe, everything after that pipe. The pipe is the line.
Right here? This one?
Yeah, remove everything after the pipe.
After, so the GRE.
And then remove the tail command. Remove the pipe too. Now, if he just looks at everything, hit enter, or no, hit cat. I'm sorry, but you gotta do sudo. Go to the beginning, sudo sudo cat cat, hit enter. He's looking at everything. This is a lot to look at, right? If you scroll up, it's just a whole bunch of, this is a lot, right? Now, if he types in his command that he was getting ready to do, he's just gonna look at the end of the file, and then he's gonna pipe that. He's doing tail var log secure. He's saying, hey, Linux, I wanna look at the end of this secure log. And then he's gonna pipe that request into another command called grep. And what grep does is it greps or pulls certain words. And what he wants to pull is SSH, right? The -I is saying it doesn't matter if it's capital or case sensitive or not case sensitive. He just wants the words SSH to come out of that file. So go ahead and do that.
All right.
Right, these commands, man, that the grep command it's highly useful, highly useful. Right, it really doesn't matter what spectrum you are behind this computer. Using grep is going to come into handy. Like, and grep can be used for a whole bunch of different things. See, now he's looking at the end of his file, right? You can use grep. Good job. Bola just asked about regex. He said, what about regex? If you use grep -E, you can keep going. You can keep going, Dami. I'm just talking.
All right.
If you use grep -E, that will pull out regex. It will extract regex formations for, or just regex characters for you. You know, regex, that's regular expression. It's not complicated. It's really pretty cool. It's more powerful.
But yeah, so here at 23, it was asking for the source IP address and the accepted password entry for the inbound SSH connection. And this is our IP address here that we're working with, which is 10.1.0.192. I mean, yeah, 192.
Good job, man.
So next, we're going to configure our VPN server. We're going to switch to our DC1 virtual machine. We're going to log in. And we're going to be using our server manager. We're going to dive into our Active Directory with it. Computers. All right, so here we're going to create a new user, and the user is going to be titled Sales VPN. So we go here to users. Yeah, users, new.
And you remember, y'all, if you go hit cancel, we were talking about Active Directory today and the structure. Do you see what I was mentioning, Dami? That's, if you look to the left, that panel, you have it built out in a hierarchy order, right? You have users, you have computers, you have built-in. You can expand these out to see more. It's structured for you in a certain format that is called the X.500 format, right? It's not something complicated. It's not something, it's not rocket science. This is just how Active Directory is organized for us. We have our computers under the computers folder. We have our users under users. You have your managed service accounts under managed service accounts. This is just a structure. X.500 is a format that Active or AD servers follow.
But yeah, we're about to create our user group. We're gonna hit right click user, you go to new, then you click on group, and then here you put in the group name, which is going to be Sales VPN. Make sure it's global security. All right. So now we're going to add Bobby into the group, which is a Sales VPN group. Add to group, add him here to Sales VPN group. Double check the name to make sure we're not missing nothing. All right, and that's been done. So next, we're going to use our server manager to configure the VPN itself. Tools, routing, remote access, EC1 local. Yep, I'm going to configure this. All right, we're going to be using this, the remote access dial-up or VPN. Let's try that again. All right, click on that. We're going to click on internet. And then we just accept everything else. All right. All right, so basically what is going on is that we're having our VPN services enabled. Come on.
Yeah, this usually takes a while. There you go.
Yeah. All right, so now we're going to create a network policy that's going to limit access to just the people that are inside the sales VPN group. So select network policy. What is that? No, there it is. Oh, dang.
See, he just enabled the VPN services. Now he's going to set up a policy that is going to restrict access to just a group. What group? The sales VPN access. What type of access control model is that? Role-based access controls.
All right, we're going to launch the NPS. Click on network policy right here. Now we're going to create that policy. The policy name is going to be sales VPN access. The network type, we're using VPN dial-up. The condition, we're setting the condition for the user group, the sales VPN group. Again, we double check the names, press OK. All right. This is the condition, which is the user group. We click on next. We ensure that the access is granted. And then here, the authentication we use, we're going to be adding this, the encrypted authentication chap.
Different authentication methods.
We click on next. And then we hit finish, and then there. This is the policy we just created, ensuring that it's only the people inside the sales VPN group can gain access. All right, so now we're gonna configure the VPN client.
All right, actually, let's do this one because this entire lab is gonna take a while.
Yeah.
Let's wrap this one up on the next Cyber Thursday. Okay, I don't wanna keep everybody too late, but does anybody have questions of what we're doing so far? Anybody on the YouTube channel have any questions either? I see a few folks on there. Thank you for joining us. All right, we just went over a few important topics that's actually Security Plus related. It's actually use case scenario related. And it's good to know, right? Dami was setting up VPN policies, right? Why do we want to set up a VPN policy? Because everybody may not need remote access, right? So only certain people are going to need remote access. And you want to lock that down to those individuals or that group using role-based access controls. So Dami, good job. Great job. I'm really, really, really liking how you're progressing through these labs. And they're definitely going to help you articulate some things on that interview you have coming up. So good luck to you. Good luck, Glory. I know you all are going to do well. Anybody else, if you have any questions that you didn't feel like asking now, feel free to hit me up on our Discord server. And thank you all for joining us on Cyber Thursday. Okay, thank you very much. And I will see you next week.
All right, thanks, Toby.
Thanks, Toby.
All right, y'all have a good night.